Hi everyone, it's Miss Cher and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. If you're new, thanks for stopping by, and if you are returning, I thank you so much, and I thank you for all your comments, and I try to get to them as soon as I can, but sometimes I can't get to them as quick as I'd like to as far as the replies, but I do read them, and I endeavor to get at them. So thank you so much for taking the time to do that. And I think it really does help out with the channel and with helping other people find us here in our little family. So I still love this one. You can guess, if you are returning, that we will be working in the Daphne's Diary, Volume 2. So this is Volume 1. There are some pages that I didn't get to, and I thought that was sweet too, her looking down at him, just because it was getting too full. So decided to start Volume 2. But if you haven't seen all the pages in Volume 1, I do have a playlist, and it's just Daphne's Diary playlist on my channel. So I'm just trying to find a place here because I've got stuff piled everywhere. So today we're going to be working in the Volume 2. So we have a few pages done already. I think we've got 1, 2, we did this one as one, and then this one, and oh, this one with the little girls. Oh, I love that one. So I am going to be working on this side. I've already cut out a piece of background paper just from my paper pad that fits there. So I'm just going to set this aside. And I'm going to be working from number 4, 2024. It is the 100th anniversary one. And it isn't the latest one, but I'm just going to be using some images from here. So the first image that I'm going to use was from page 36. It was tucked down here in this corner. And it was these little mice, which I thought, I've got PTSD a bit about mice in the house, but they are kind of cute. So we're going to use that one. And then I'm not sure if this is what this is gonna look like, but I cut out from page 64, I cut out some little mushrooms that were down here in the corner. So those mushrooms, and I did back that onto just a piece of cardstock and cut that out. And then lastly, I'm using some of the images from these invitations. So I've already cut out the centers of 2 of them. So the one that I am going to use, I think, was up in this corner maybe? I'm not sure. I think it might have been up in this corner here. And then one down at the bottom. So I've got 2 that I cut up. So I've got those. So what I thought I would do is just try to do, not sure how this is going to turn out. There is writing there, but it's more like a scribble, so it doesn't really look like it's upside down. So I kind of thought that I would do something like this, somewhat, and then I would put the mushroom in the middle with the little guy kind of sitting on top there. So I'm not really sure, because there might be a gap there, but if I pull that down and push that right up, I might be able to, I could make it a bit smaller and just kind of make it fit like that. I could just cut the page smaller, but then I think it would look funny. So, I could just frame the mushrooms. I'll take that off. Like frame the mushroom, kind of like that. Or I could just, what I could do is get some washi tape. So I don't think there's any washi tape in that one because the stickers are different. But there was washi tape in one of these ones. I'm not sure exactly where. Some of these I already pulled out. Because what we could do out here is just take some of these and make a little strip across. So that might work. So if I was going to do that, I think I might use just this one. Let's see. So I could just kind of mark whereabouts I would need the strip. So I could put these kind of up like that. And then we could, where this is, just put like a little banner across. I think that would look kind of nice. So I'd need the banner to kind of, this would be the middle of the banner. I can get my pencil working. Kind of from there to there. So I don't have my T-square ruler. I was doing some stuff on my Cricut and I've used it there, but we will, that's about 4 inches and that's about 4 inches there. Okay, and then I'll just do a little light line across there to try to get it straight. And then it's just a matter of deciding which one of these I think would go the best. And we could either do contrasting, or we could do one that sort of blends in with the mushroom. Kind of like this one here. So this is the one we're going to use. Okay, so I'm going to try to put this down so that this, I just don't want it to stick on everything. That's kind of, line is in the center of that. So, let's see if that looks relatively straight. Does that look kind of straight? I think that does look straight like that. Okay, so we could do something like that. And then I'll just cut this off here. And I'll put that back in here for another day. And that one came out of volume 3, if you wanted to know about that. So then we could then do our little border kind of around like that. Try to make it fit. So I wonder if they're both kind of the same. They roughly are. So what I think I might do is get my trimmer out. And then I kind of want this to be, I think I want it this way. This might not turn out the best, but, so I want it to go roughly about here. Okay, so if I put those together, and if I draw a line, I think that would be fine. So I'm just going to put them on my trimmer, and I might trim them just a little bit bigger than what I want, because I can always cut it down more. But I just want to get a rough guide. So I think that would work like that. And I don't care if it meets at the bottom, so I'm okay that it doesn't. But I think I might turn them this way. Yeah, I like that better. It looks better at the bottom. Okay, so then these ones, I roughly want the same size. So it was right about here, I guess. Somewhat like this. All right, so then I'm just going to trim that as well. Trim it to that line. They're not straight is the problem, so I got to hold them together and then line them up on one of these straight lines here so that I can get a relatively straight cut. There we go. Okay, so then they should be roughly the same size. So now what I might do is just cut this a wee bit so that it's not so in. So I might just cut that off like so. And just cut this a bit so that it kind of meets on that center piece of washi tape. Okay. And then this one here, do roughly the same. Just cut this in a little bit more. So I think I'll kind of go up a little bit like that. Okay, and then cut this. We've been having exceptional weather. It's turned back into August weather for us here. Gosh, it was 27 yesterday, and oh, with the full moon, I'm quite affected by the full moon. So I just haven't slept the last couple nights. I even had to have a caffeine coffee this morning, and I drink decaf coffee, so it's but I just needed something. And it wasn't even that I was tired, it was just, I don't know, just felt really blah, like no energy. All right, so how does that look? Is that looking anywhere near like anything? Oh, I think it looks kind of cute. And then I've got an idea for up there. I was thinking that I could either put a little bow there at the top. It's hard to see because it's almost the same color. Or I could put the bow on the mushroom, but I'm not exactly sure. So let's just set that aside for a second. And I think I will get this down. I'm just wondering if I should make it a little bit bigger. Like, is that, I kind of like the shape of that though. It kind of goes up into, yeah, I'm going to leave it. If you were doing this yourself, you could trim it, you know, how you like. But I just, when I saw these invitations, I just kind of thought, well, what can I do with those? Because I'm not going to, you know, use it as an invitation. I could have used it as a journal card, I guess. But I thought, oh, well, that's when I saw the mushrooms. And I thought, oh, I could use that to make a type of frame. So that was the whole kind of idea of this one, is to make a little frame. So gosh, I can't believe that we're in the middle of September already. Wow. We've hardly had any rain this month, I don't think. I've had to water quite a bit. I bought these mums, I was telling you a while back, I think, and I had them in the window for Chester, and they're huge. I got them at Costco. Linda, I think you mentioned that in one of your comments, so I might have already replied to you by the time that you see this, but yeah, they were $16.99 here in Halifax, and wow, I've never really bought a mum before, but they're huge. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a floral frame. So then with this here, what I thought I would do is just take some gold embroidery thread, metallic. So I got this at Michael's, and it's the ORCL one. And then I'm just going to just make a few little loops around the little mushroom so that when we turn the page or it catches the light, it's going to reflect off the little metal of the thread. think I'll do one more little pass around. Okay, and I always just put a little strip of double-sided tape just to have something to stick it to. And you can do it as much or as little or none if you don't really like the effect. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put this up on dimensionals. So I'm going to take one of these. Oops. And that might be too thick for right there. So I'm just going to cut a little piece out of it. I do have scissors that are supposed to be non-stick, but that'd be too easy. Okay, so I don't know if I put it right about there, I think. Okay, I can see just a little bit of it here. So I'm going to cut that away. My little micro scissors here. Right there, pull that off. Okay, and then with these images, I did take my Pitt pens. So I took the brushes, the brush tips, and I just went along. So with the mushroom one, I just went along with the black marker around the edge, just to take away that sort of whiteness on the side there. And then with the mouse ones, I did the same thing, but I used the brown one. And then it just makes the image pop a little bit more. So with this guy here, I also put a little strip of cardstock on the back because I want to set him up with dimensionals as well. Him and her. You know, it's teamwork that makes the dream work. These little guys are working together. So with that little metallic thread, it just kind of sets it off a little bit. And I'm not going to put it right down to the bottom. I think I'm going to set it right about there is good. I'm happy with that. And I am just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this. This is older dimensional tape that I've had. I'm trying to just use up stuff that I'm finding in my craft room. So the adhesion on it isn't that great. So I think I'm going to put that right about there. And then I'm going to put little Mishy mouse and her little buddy. I'm going to put them right on top of this little mushroom. So they're up there cleaning the mushrooms, having a grand old day. And then I had a little saying. Somebody asked me if my sayings were Dinah Wakely. So I do have some of hers, and I had them out earlier, but I haven't used them. I use those more for art journaling, here there, for more of the mixed media, these ones here. So I do have some, but that's not what I use for this. For these ones here, I usually use Tim Holtz. These are the small talk. Or I use Art by Marlene. So a lot of these ones that I've shown in this kind of format, those are all Art by Marlene. But for this one here, I had thought, I had a couple picked out, which of course I've set somewhere, and oh, here. So I'm either thinking I'm happiest when I'm with you, no matter what we're doing, whether we're doing chores or driving around. And then I liked this one here, together is the best place to be. So I liked both of those. I could put that right down at the bottom. I think I might put right there, I'm happiest when I'm with you. Oh, that's nice. It's a nice thing to say, whether it's your best friend or your partner. So I think that's kind of cute. I'm happiest with I'm with you. Okay, so how can we embellish this? So, like I said, I've got this little bow, which might go at the top. So I think that's cute. Because now that we've got that, do we really need... I'm really happy with that to be at the top. So I'm going to get a glue dot, which I should have had out. And my glue dots are here. Sometimes your little glue dots work well with these little fabric things. So I'm just going to get my little glue dot, and I'm going to glue that down there with the little pearl, which is cute. And then I have some sequins that I thought we can embellish. I do have my Wink of Stella. Gotta love Stella. And I did get some glitter pens. I thought maybe that might work. And then, of course, I've got out my little gems. So I'm just thinking to maybe put this... Oops, my little... I have to glue that on. My little pearl just fell off. I'm kind of thinking of putting that in now so that I can maybe add some little embellishments that would go kind of with the other side. And that should fit exactly. So I'm just going to glue this down. I'm using just Elmer's glue. It is the glue all though. So, and for those of you who've switched over to Elmer's glue, tell me how you like it. Because I know that there's been some convertees. But it's so cheap and cheerful. Now, I wouldn't recommend getting the school glue. There's too much water in it. And it just makes your pages warp a little bit more. And this does set, you know, in a relatively good amount of time. If you want a glue that you can reposition for longer, this probably isn't the glue. But I like it. Alright, so let's move this out of the way. And let's try to do a little bit of embellishing. So I do have those little brass butterflies that I just absolutely love. Got them from Stampin' Up! And I don't even know if they still have them, but I think I'm going to have to order some more. So I use them a lot. So let's put one on this side. Because then that'll be cute. Because there's kind of one there and then one there. So I think that's lovely. And then I was thinking about a couple of these sequins. I keep them in these little containers. I had bought a bunch of these little containers at Michael's. And they were about this size. I think they were like $6.99 for a bunch of those. And then one day I went to the dollar store and they had one for like almost 3 times as big for like the same amount, for the less money. So there you go. Okay, so I kind of like these because it is kind of hard to pick up on camera, but they do have a little bit of a shine when they catch the light. So I kind of like that effect. I do have ones in other colors because I kind of thought maybe I would put them sort of to represent some of the flowers. So I think that'll work. So I'm thinking maybe 3. I've got those colors and then one that's just a little bit more fleshy tone. But I thought it would go well with the color scheme of that's on there now. So I'm just going to take my little quickie glue and I just want to make sure it's coming out okay. So I'm just going to tap it on here. And this glue is good because it dries tacky. So if you want to use it with gold foil, like I did last time, I think I used it with gold foil, then you can. And once it sets well, it's a good little glue. So I just want to set that there. Okay, and then I can maybe down here. We'll set that there. Gosh, I get my prescriptions at Costco. So I had to go last night to pick up my prescription. Oh my goodness, what a madhouse. Our one in Halifax is so small, and there's rumors that they're gonna start building a new one. But some of the problem is the hours. I mean, they're only open, I think it's like from 9 till 8, which is good, but for the volume of people that go through there, I wish they would open earlier. Like, I wish they'd open at 7. I'm the type of person that I get up and I go. Like, if I have errands to do, I want to get up and get out of the house and at the shops by 7 and kind of be back home by 9. But it doesn't sometimes work that way. So I'm just sticking these down at random. I'm putting the darker ones in with the flowers, just so it kind of blends in a bit more. And it'll be subtle until, you know, the light glares off it, and then it'll be more noticeable. I just want to put a couple on the background because the background is plain. But I kind of planned it that way as I didn't want the background to be busy too with all this flower border. And maybe I'll just do one more here. I was going to do that one, but I don't think I will. Okay, and with this one here, to get more to ink or glue to come out, you just tap it. Okay, so there's those. And then I kind of thought with the Wink of Stella, we could just do a couple of highlights, like maybe the mushroom tops. So again, when the light catches it, it will... Oh, look, there's a little frog. I didn't even notice a little frog there. Let's bling him up. So when the light catches it, I don't even know if it will pick it up on camera. But if you know Wink of Stella, it's just lovely. It's just an aqua glitter pen. And then I had a few of these, which I thought we could just add some little dots around the page that again will just reflect the light when the page is moved, when you open and close. So this is like a copper, and this one here is just sort of like a deep rosy color that we can just play. Just use whatever you have. I like these because they're metallic-y. They're not just flat. And then this one here is like a gold, green. So I thought green might look nice to kind of go in with the foliage. It doesn't really need to stand out so much. Okay, and then the last thing is that I have some little bling dots if we think that we need them. Now I do have just a couple little rivets there, so maybe I'll get some of the gold ones just to maybe put a few dots at the bottom there. So these I just got at the dollar store, and I believe you can still get them. So I'm thinking I'll just do three little dots there. And then I do really like these though. These are one of my favorite things. I always say that. This is one of my favorite things. Oh, and this is one of my favorite things. But I need certain tweezers to pick them up, or I just flick them all over the place. But I think I'll put them in the little yellow flowers as a little yellow center. So there's another little yellow flower there. And I think I need a little something up in there. Let me try another little one of these rivets. Kind of just up in there. Okay, and then you could bling her up a little bit. You could put little eyes on them. I think what I'll do is I'll bling up her dress a little bit. She's all dressed up to go do chores. Keep the house clean. Yeah, so there. you know, maybe I've given you a little bit of inspiration today. So here's our I'm happiest when I'm with you. You can kind of see a little bit of the sequins. It's not really picking up the glitter pen. Oh, when I hold it that way, you can see her dress is kind of has a bit of bling, and there's a bit of bling down here on the frog and stuff. But so there's your page for today. I hope you did enjoy that. And until we meet again, I do hope you stay safe and well, and bye for now.